The running back, Ashton Genty, of course, he had his pro day, and it looks as if, though, this Ashton Genty can catch out of the backfield. He can do a whole bunch of things, and people will be talking about him with the silver and blue if he's there at the 12th spot. Now, there are maybe 3 teams that could take a real good look at Ashton, and that will be the Raiders, Bears, and possibly the 49ers. Neither here nor there. I would love for the Cowboys to scoop him up. He's still my RB1. I get it. We can talk about how deep this class is as it relates to running backs, but you don't want to play around with that. I say go ahead and get the guy that you know for sure did unbelievable work as it relates to out here in the college level, and then you look forward to seeing what he can do on the next level, of course. But he's a hometown kid. I think that this will pay all type of dividends if we get a guy of the kind of caliber of an Ashton Genty, someone that can bring you plenty. Run in between the splits, A gap, B gap, catch the ball out of the backfield. And at the end of the day, we can cherry pick this and that about a player, but I'm looking at run game that can really help out the wide receivers. It can help out TOP. Put that in the chat if you know what I mean with TOP. And your best running game can help out your situation on your defense when you start to look at the complete picture. What do you mean about that? TOP, time of possession. It's hard for the opposing team to score when they don't have the ball, right? And now when we start talking about XYZ things as it relates to, okay, CeeDee Lamb for a situation. We know that teams drop 6 and 7 in coverage. They don't load the box up. What we're trying to do is shift and change this thing up so that this team, or when we play against team, that they can load the box finally, right? And we can have one-on-ones to the outside with Lamb. We can have the ability to manipulate some things as it relates to, instead of we folding to what the defense trying to present, now the defense fold to what we present. Whether we show 12 personnel, right, and we still able to throw out of it or run out of it, or we give you 11 personnel and we are able to throw out of it and run out of it, right? Or we can go ace. So many things that you can do once you have a running back. I get it. Everybody kind of dismissed running backs in the last 5 or 6 years, but running backs always been a staple piece. A good run game can help out your defense. That's just how it goes. How's that all works out? Because of the time of possession. Being able to control the clock that keeps your defense fresh, and you controlling the clock by moving the chain. And I think that with play action and the kind of caliber of quarterback that you got out of Dak Prescott, these things can help him out. He's a play action quarterback. I want Dak Prescott anywhere between 24 and 28 throws a game. But so many people out here wants to lean on the fake story news and stuff like that, even with the gentleman talking about, hey, Dak Prescott is on the trading blocks with Browns. Like the Browns would even eat all of that money. Well, the Cowboys would eat all of that money and still pay, because you got to understand, they still got to pay their quarterback, Deshaun Watson. And they just paid $40 million more on Myles Garrett contract. Nobody think things out. And then on top of that, to put the cherry on the top, Dak Prescott got to agree to go to Cleveland. It was so crazy the other day. It is easier to win if you have run game. It is easier to win when you have the situation of adding more to versus trying to do all of this trading away and all of this crap, right? That's what I'm getting at. So if the Cowboys serious about this, even if it's Omarion, even if it's Travion Henderson, if we bring run game to the table, we will win games for the 2025 season. We also need to add another weapon for CeeDee Lamb. So Those are the two things. I get it. We can look at other parts of this team where we need help at, but there's two areas that I'm looking for on the offense. Run game and another wide receiver that can stretch the field to help out Lamb. That's all I'm looking for. We can talk about O-line for your mind and all of this stuff, but if we are trying to run the ball, there's not an offensive lineman that ever played in the National Football League or college, middle school, high school, that despise run blocking. Oh, they love run blocking. And on top of that, you can't name me all of the offensive linemen on the 49ers when they ran all over us, right? When you have a system, strategy, and scheme, it doesn't matter. You don't need first-round draft picks on every category on O-line. But what you do need is the temperament and the mindset. So that's why I like his mindset. I like what he brings to the table. I think that the Cowboys, if he's there, you just put your ticket in and say, hey, this is going to be our running back for the foreseeable future. Right? That's what I want to see, Cowboys Nation. Shout out to Ashton Genty, still my number one running back. Let's get back to the run game, and let's get this going the best way possible. Post me your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. Post me your concerns. Who you want out of this draft is getting closer and closer to that time for your mind, and I can't wait for this all to happen. And the Lions season will be over with, and then we can worry about tangible things instead of the intangible. DC for life, not for sure. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Let's get it. Peace.